day like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to a $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Spare Time, sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here are your hosts, Jillian Martin and Kayla Starr.
All right, welcome into Spare Time. I'm Jackson Kleinschmidt over here on the ones and twos. To the left of me, your hosts, as always, Jillian Martin and Kayla Starr. Filling in for Harrison Arn tonight. Obviously, you guys were on the last show. He is sick tonight. How you guys doing this week?
Doing good. It's finally warm outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
you're
feels
telling
kind of
me.
like the summer again. So that's nice.
I know we haven't really talked that much before, but I'm from Florida, so this is quite. I mean, this is still cold to some Floridians, but to me, this is great. Living up here for the past 2 years, but
It's just crazy though. We wake up for the lift so early, and then it's like 35, and we're like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be cold." And then by the time we're at practice, we're like, "It's 80 degrees." What the heck?
Yeah, I know. It's compared to what last week. I think it was blizzarding on Tuesday.
Yeah, just randomly out of
It was
nowhere.
terrible.
It was awful.
Crazy.
But I know you guys are getting close to regionals and hitting practice hard. So how's that all going?
Pretty good right now. Obviously working we kind of put some together some things after regular season, just what we wanted to accomplish as a team. And so really just trying to work on those separate things. Definitely a lot of physical game work, trying to get things back in check. And we've all kind of picked one thing to focus on this month, just to really tune in and lock in on that. So when we go out there, it's going to be good and ready to go.
Yeah, and then also upping our strength training and things we've been working on in the gym. It's a lot easier to get stronger when you're not competing every weekend and worrying about having to try and bowl while you're sore. It's not ideal. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
What is your what do you guys like day to day week look like? Like
So-
now, I know you guys are
Mhm.
I think because I do the other show with Striking Up Account. Yeah. And they kind of said that during this stretch before regionals, you guys hit practice is it 6 days a week?
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much. And so we lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have open hours right now. Most of us come between 7 and 8.
Oh, okay.
And then we have practice Monday, Wednesday are 2:30 to 4:30. Tuesday and Thursday are 2:30 to 5, and then Fridays 2 to 4. And then we'll usually have Saturday practice, which is 9:30 to 11:30.
That's not bad.
No, it's not terrible. It just sucks sometimes, class conflicts, stuff like that. But other than that, we enjoy the time together. So definitely not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you kind of get used to it too. Even when we're in and competing a lot, it's kind of just the same old stuff that we usually do.
It's a nice routine to get into
Yeah.
because I know same thing too. We'll end practice either 4:30 or 5, and then the team will pretty much go get dinner at training table.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
then we can just kind of eat together, and sometimes we'll stay and study or do other things.
It's like team bonding,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're able to kind of enjoy that extra time off the lanes after we're done. And same thing too. After lift, we'll all go to breakfast together before class. So just stuff like that. Yeah, we kind of make it work. But it's just nice because you just feel so in such a good routine that it's just I don't know, fun.
Yeah. And it's different from in the fall too when we haven't quite started competing yet because I feel like it's kind of this one. It's you already know what the expectations are and where you need to be, or at least maybe that was a freshman thing. I was just kind of lost all the time, but
I think that's everything. And at this point in the year, we've had so many conversations as a team of this is where we want to go. This is what we want to do. And it's basically okay, we know we have a basically laid out plan of how to get there.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of know what you're going into expecting every day at practice. And then same thing too, dinner is even more fun because it's just we're all so much closer because we've had so much time to grow together that it's just we have all these things that we'll joke about and laugh about there.
Yeah.
And so it's really special time.
What specific things do you guys focus on before regionals in a bigger tournament setting?
Yeah, so I think Coach Lumba's really big on spares because for bowling, especially single pin, so if you leave one pin or some other makeable spares that have 2 pins or whatever, they're kind of like free throws, and it's just we should be making most of these, so figure out what we need to do. And so we really lock in on that because it's the easiest thing to control in our sport. What we're bowling on, where we're bowling, stuff like that, it's always changing, especially the oil that they put on the lane. And so kind of with that, we'll work on ball motion and other things so that we can be more adaptable and versatile in those situations. But it's really focusing on the controllables. How are we going to execute good shots? And then what do we need to do to make quicker decisions? I think.
Yeah. I think that covers it.
Yeah. Pretty much it.
So what makes preparing for regionals? I know it's it's your playoffs, it's the tournament. You guys get into that. What makes it different from preparing for just another normal tournament during the regular season?
I think in the back of our minds we all know this is what ends our season. So it's all or nothing.
It's important.
Yeah. It's not just oh well, we know we have another tournament next weekend, so hopefully you have a really good record this weekend, but you kind of know this is your last chance for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also different from other schools because we get basically a month off of competition from our last tournament to regionals.
Yeah, because the other schools still compete, and you guys are kind of
Mhm.
you guys do your own thing, practice for a month straight.
Yeah, so I think that's really nice because we're able, while you're actually competing in season, you don't necessarily get to work on all these little physical game things because it's just you can't make the changes that quick and your body's not going to be used to it. And it can almost be detrimental if you try to change something really big like that. Whereas when you have a month to do it, you can really kind of go through that learning period within those first 2 weeks and then kind of just get it figured out and good to go in those last 2 weeks. And so I think that's helpful. And then I think the other thing too, you guys haven't done it yet. But so regionals is a completely different format than any other tournament that we bowl. Because usually we bowl Baker matches on Friday. So we bowl 5 game Baker matches on Friday. And so that's where we have 5 people bowling 1 game. And then on Saturday we'll do 5 traditional matches. And so that's when each person bowls their own game and you add the scores. And then Sunday it's best 4 of 7.
Baker.
Yeah, Baker. And then when we go to regionals, it's actually a mega match. So we combine all 3 formats, and it's a best 2 out of 3 of those formats. So we'll bowl the Baker format, the Baker 5-game format first, then the traditional 5-game format, and then the 4 of 7. So if you win the first Baker and the traditional, you win the whole thing, and if it's 1-1, then you go to a 4 of 7 to, like, determine it, and so it's just a really different format for us, and it kinda takes more endurance, and it's longer, so we kinda have to make sure we're aware of that.
So building off of that, like what specific type of like is it like workouts that you guys do? It's like, okay, this focuses on this.
Yeah, we go a lot harder in lift, so, like and now too, I think we're doing more
Okay.
cardio, which helps
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
And then just, like, we'll kinda mimic that setting in practice, which is what we haven't done yet. But just to kinda get a feel of, like, these can be really long and they can be really draining, especially because 'cause you're so engaged the whole
Yeah.
time because it's, like you said, all or nothing. So, yeah. It'll be fun, though. You'll enjoy it.
Do other schools that are like still competing during this month, do they kind of look at you guys like different because of what you guys do? Because it's different from what they're doing. Like, do you guys ever hear anything from other bowlers?
A lot of people ask us, like, why don't you compete in March or, like, why don't you bowl a conference tournament? Because I guess there's other schools that, like, join conferences that they aren't like, they join bowling conferences, and we don't. We're still an independent
Yeah.
school. And people always ask, like, why? Like, why would you do that? But, yeah, that's kind of it.
I think if anything too, because we actually used to be the way that every other school is, and so we've kind of changed from that, like, starting my freshman year. But I think if anything, it's just, like, a good reset period because I think there's these other schools, like, we know a few schools that have gone, like, 4 weeks straight, like, going into the
Oh, man.
natties.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, I can only imagine how burnout I would be, like, with school and competition, like, just on top of everything going on. It just sounds like so much, and I feel like this is also too, not only with the physical benefits, but just such a great mental reset time for us to kinda take a step back, bring it back as a team, and just kind of build on the relationships we've built, and then just
Yeah.
go in there with that extra trust and communication.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
I imagine it's comfortable getting like be here, like you're in your
Yeah.
apartment, like in your own bed.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's just more you're getting more recovery during this
Yeah.
time.
The
I
wear on
imagine.
the wear and tear on your body is so much less. Even when we went, like, 3 weekends in a row, and our last weekend was our home tournament, so we were still sleeping in our bed, I was like, "Oh, we get 2 off days, this is great." Like,
Mhm.
Do other schools
Yeah.
like do they get jealous of like kind of like you guys get to be home for a while? I know you guys are hitting practice hard, but that home feeling is different than
Mhm.
being on the road all the time.
I would be,
Yeah, I would be
personally.
too.
Yeah.
I haven't really talked to that many people about it because it's kinda like everyone just does their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I have a lot of friends on other teams. Like, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, why aren't you bowling?" But I also think that they're so used to it that it's just, like, all they know. Whereas, like, once you get this once and you're like, "I have that time," I think you realize how beneficial it actually is.
Is it because I know you guys are set with different seeds and whatnot in the rankings?
Mhm.
Is it possible during this month when you guys aren't competing that you guys could drop in
Yes.
rank? So it is. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. It's like we wanna bowl really well because but the thing is, I mean, I guess we're already in first right now, I think
Yeah.
still?
They
Yeah.
updated it
Yeah,
after
so
this
we're in
weekend.
first, but, like, if we were in second, we could also go to first. Like, it just so this is just one of those seasons where
Okay.
because it all changes based on other teams' win-loss percentage.
Mhm.
Like, so, like, our win-loss percentage and our it's like a power ranking, which is basically just, like, the how competitive the opponents we played are. So, like, your power ranking goes up if we're bowling, like, someone who's ranked versus someone who's not ranked, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, win-loss, and then that power rank gets factored in, and then that's kinda what puts you at that number. So, like, if a team goes undefeated and they bowl 3 tournaments, like, yeah, they're gonna freaking climb so far up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, if we were bowling and we lost a lot, we might fall.
Yeah.
Whereas at this point, we can't fall or like, our numbers are just whatever, and
Yeah.
people just move around us. So
How often do you like see a big jump in rankings, or does it stay pretty much the same
it
once you
stays
get
pretty
this
even.
close?
Yeah, it depends on how close people are, though.
Yeah.
But, like, it takes a lot more wins because you kinda have your win-loss percentage already, and it takes so many more wins and or so many
Mhm.
more losses to kind of change that percentage because you've already bowled so much, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So as you guys look forward into like the selection show, which is a little over 2 weeks away,
Mhm.
what do you guys look for? Like, is there a certain seed that you guys want to be like, or a certain place and like demographic that you want to go to?
I mean, I think we always wanna be the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I think there's such a big benefit of that. Then also being in the top 4 overall, you're gonna be the number 1 seed in any region that you're in. I don't think there's necessarily preference for where we go.
Yeah, I know the team struggled. Was it 21? No, 22. The the year before my freshman year, they went to Rochester and they struggled a little bit.
Mhm.
So I think we'd be fine going to Rochester, but if we could choose, I don't think that would be our first.
Do you guys have
Yeah.
certain places that you bowl that like are better than others? Like I like to bowl here versus I don't like to bowl in this place.
Yeah. So like before tournaments and everything, I think our coaches get like a lane maintenance report and like all types of stuff like that. And so obviously if they're newer and they've been upkept better, they're usually easier for us to bowl on. Whereas lanes that are older and haven't really been kept nice, like just weird stuff can happen.
Mhm.
And so it's just there can be really big effects because of that. And so every place is different. But like the Dallas regional or Arlington regional, like that's a bowling alley we bowl at all the time. Like we bowl a regular season tournament there. I've bowled there a lot personally, and then like all of junior Team USA like training camps are held there.
Oh, okay.
So like a lot of us have experience in that building.
Mhm.
That's really the only one people go to a lot. And then there's we went to Pittsburgh my freshman year, and then we went to Lansing last year, my sophomore year.
That's Michigan.
Yeah. And I think we won in Pittsburgh. We bowled well in Lansing. We ended up not making it out, which kind of sucked. We were really close. But we still bowled well there, so I don't think we'd have an issue going back there. And then obviously, we actually have not been to Texas ever since because they started the regional stuff like recently. So they used to have all 16 teams like go to one location.
Really? So now they spread it out because I think I
Yeah.
was reading before the show. So it's like 4 different places.
Yeah, 4 different regionals with 4 teams each, and that's why she says
Oh.
like if you're in the top 4 seed, you'll be the top seed in your region.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the one seed goes to usually has the 16 seed and then like the 7 and 8 seed. So you have like more the middle
Play a lower seed.
of the pack. Yeah, whereas like if you're the 4 seed, the 5 seed's also going to be in your region.
It's more of an even match.
Yeah, which is like we dealt with that my freshman year. Whereas I think last year we were the 5 seed, and so we were in the regional with the 4 seed. So my freshman year we were the 4 seed. We made it out. Last year we didn't. But yeah.
Yeah. So you guys obviously want to be that 1 seed and play that lower seed.
And it's nice too, because if we are the 1 seed in like that region, like the seeding actually carries over into the national championship. So the winner of each region will move on to the national championship. And let's say the 1 seed in each region won. Well, now we'll go back to the initial seeding. So if we were the overall 1 seed out of every team in every region, then we'll maintain that seeding.
What's the advantage to having that?
We get lane choice.
Yeah, a lot of little stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
like you get lane choice of where you want to bowl. Like if we go into a best 4 of 7, we get lane choice in that 7th game, which is a big thing in bowling because based on how we're bowling and the things we're doing, the lanes can break down really differently. So same thing with topography, like the way the lane is set. Sometimes there'll just be a clear cut, like we want this lane.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
really
interesting.
Yeah.
So like give me an example. Like if you
what
would you guys pick?
Well, it just depends. It depends, like, when you're there situationally, because what happens is a lot of times you'll get lane choice in the 7th game, and it's because you're 3-3, obviously. And sometimes when those 3-3s happen, they're random, and other times it's like every single game has been won on the left lane.
That happened at our home tournament.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's like, since every single game's been won on the left lane, clearly, like, however the oil is broken down on the left lane is better than the right lane. So we want to bowl on the left lane for game 7.
Okay, so how does that work?
Okay, yeah.
So, because for me, this is like I'm learning as you guys are talking here.
Yeah.
So I was doing research before the show,
I know.
trying to like kind of understand. And there was talk about oil, and I was like, do I ask them about this? Are they going to talk about it? So how does that work?
Here we go.
Like, explain it to me like you're explaining it to an alien.
Okay, so basically we have these crazy machines. They're oil machines. They cost like more than a car.
Okay.
Like $80,000.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so it has a bunch of different, like a big brush, and then it has oil tanks. And then there's like a bunch of different tools that go into this.
Huh.
And so they can use a computer program to basically program like an oil pattern into the machine. And so the oil pattern is basically just where the oil is being placed across the boards on a lane. There's 40 boards on a lane. And so then the program will tell it where to place that oil across the lane and how much oil to place there on the front end and on the back end. So it goes down the lane on the front, and then it comes back. And like sometimes they'll buff the oil. Sometimes there will only be like forward oil and there won't be any reverse oil on the back part. So they can really change a lot of those things. And so that's different tournament to tournament. And so like we don't necessarily know what we'll be bowling on in regionals. But then the other thing that comes into play is our bowling balls. So they're kind of like tires. If you think about like a lot of traction versus not a lot of traction. And so the more traction they have, they will actually pick up that oil from the lane.
Okay.
And as they spin and rotate, they pick up more oil because you're covering more surface area of that bowling ball as they continue to rotate. And so as that oil gets picked up, the lane changes. And so that's why like for us, like we'll have to move like 2 boards left or like 2 left with our feet, 1 left with our eyes. And so like those moves continue throughout the day. So like a typical tournament, sometimes we'll start standing on like 20 and which is the middle dot, and then looking at 10, which is like the second arrow. But by the end of the day, I might be on 35 looking at 23.
17.
It just changes.
Yeah.
As the
day, so you typically move left as the day goes on.
Okay.
But because of that, like, and because the certain bowling balls and like where people are throwing those balls affect how the lane changes, each lane breaks down a little bit differently. And a lot of times on one para lane, so like let's say we're bowling on 1 and 2, like a lot of times 1 and 2 will be pretty similar. I can stand the same place on 1 that I am on 2. But every once in a while, like they'll be totally different. Like they'll be like 4 boards apart or something weird like that. And you just have a clear preference for which lane you like more, and you bowl better on that lane because you feel more comfortable. So when we come down to a game 7 and we could say we like lane 2 more, then we would have lane choice to be like, we want to bowl on lane 2 because we know we're going to bowl better there.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's all very interesting.
And same thing. Oh, here.
No,
I'll give you one more. Like, they do at like all the majors for the professional stuff. We don't get this in college, but they'll do topography reports, which is basically like, if you think about it, like they map out the lane, because if you think about it, when people are throwing these 15-pound objects to a lane over and over and over again, you're going to get natural indentations in certain spots.
Yeah.
And so based on where people are throwing the bowling ball, once again, that varies lane to lane. So sometimes a lane will just have really crappy topography. And so that'll also affect how our ball is rolling on the lane, which might be another reason why we may favor or not favor that specific
lane. You can't see any of it.
Yeah, you can't see any of it.
So in practice, do you guys kind of like study that? And, like go through it? Like I know like on Striking Up, they were talking about having notebooks that they write in.
No,
to
so
go over all
we'll go through that, and like same thing. So like the bowling center in Texas is weird because usually at a bowling alley, like you have your leagues, and in league they put out a house shot, which is like a really easy oil pattern. And so a lot of times people will like throw the ball in the same spot on a house shot. Whereas when you're competing on sport shots, which are the harder conditions, which is what we bowl on in college, like people will bowl based on what the oil is kind of telling them or what they see. And so like the training center down in Texas, lane to lane is actually really weird because it's a training center. So there is no like defined area of where people usually throw the ball because they're always putting out sport shots. And so since we've bowled there so much, we know and we like it. But like there's a very clear like lane to lane difference throughout that entire bowling for that reason.
I think there's a lot of science that goes into this.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me, because I'm just learning about this, I definitely didn't think that this much goes into it, but it's all very interesting. We got to go ahead and take our first break here. We got 2 more segments left to spare time here with Kayla Starr and Jillian Martin. So yeah, we'll go ahead and cut it to break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Manitow pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership, plus score big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has it all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location, and they can't wait to get you set up for the summer.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off on Piedmontese brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, and at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hello. Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with yourself for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utilities direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Back to Spare Time, sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here are your hosts, Jillian Martin and Kayla Starr.
All right, welcome back into Spare Time with Jillian Martin and Kayla Starr. We were talking last segment about the oils and how the different balls work. Still learning how all this works. So keep talking about that kind of bowling fundamentals, I guess. More of the tournament hopes. Actually, I did have a question. Who actually is the biggest threat for this tournament? Like in your guys' mind, like who are you guys going to be like, that's your biggest competition?
I think it's hard because we don't necessarily know who is in our region yet.
Yeah.
And
mean,
so
I
we
guess,
kind of
like,
have to make it out of
long-term-
our region first to figure out.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
That's totally fair.
I think like if we look at it, usually like Jacksonville State and Vanderbilt, they've both been bowling really good this season. Jacksonville State won last year, Vanderbilt won the year before that. And so just kind of and I guess we won the year before both of those. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just kind of looking at that and just the things that they've done throughout this season, it would appear as though it's going to be one of those two teams.
Okay.
Now, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into that regional setting. Like, you have the 3 seed in the bracket with the 6 seed. Like, okay, maybe there's an upset there. Obviously, we don't know exactly who are going to be bowling, but if we look long term, I think.
Is bowling kind of like any other sport where it's or not? There's some sports that are different than others, but is it one of those situations where it can really be any given day? Like you could bowl really good on one day, and then there's just one day where it's not your day.
Yeah, I think it also plays into like if the pattern plays into what certain teams are able to do really well. So like if there's certain teams that are really good at throwing it fast and keeping the ball in front of them, and the pattern really wants you to do that, it's a lot easier for them.
Yeah, and so like that's the other thing with the oil is based on how it's kind of set up throughout the lane and how long it is and other characteristics. Like like there's like the rule of 31. So basically, theoretically, you would take how long the pattern is. So like let's say it's 42 feet and you'd subtract 31. So that gets you 11. And that's kind of like where you want your break point to be. So that's kind of on the second arrow. And so that's kind of where you're trying to get the ball to. Whereas like shorter patterns, you want to get it further right, longer, further left. So stuff like that. But just based on where you're trying to get that break point to be, it can really play into what other teams do better than others.
Yeah.
Because if it's further right, then a team who throws it hard and straight up the right is probably going to do better than a team who likes to be left and throw it slower and curve the lane.
So there's obviously strategy going
Mhm.
into this, right? So like,
Yeah.
I don't want to ask you guys a strategy because I don't want you guys to like, I don't want you guys to give up any secrets or anything. But what do you guys like study film in any of this? Is there any type of film study in bowling?
I've always said that we should. We don't.
I think
You don't.
it wouldn't hurt. I mean, like I like to go back after the day and like if I like there's a game where I threw a lot of good shots, I'm like, okay, I want to go see that. Or like if the pins did something crazy, I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to go watch that later and find it.
It's hard though too because if you think about the setting of like a bowling alley and we're all like standing down by the lane, so it's kind of hard to get a camera in a good position where you can get good film that you can go back and look at. Um and so I think if we had that it would make it a lot easier. We probably would more often whereas now like our current setup isn't.
Great. Except for I
Yeah.
feel like our home tournaments was good.
It was, but still if you're going to go back and watch film it's probably not going to be the easiest to
Yeah.
see. But then I think with that it's just like because bowling is like that and it really is pattern to pattern, like week to week, like stuff like that, we work on all those things. Every team does. So, like, I mean, that's not giving up any strategy or anything. Like, everyone is
Yeah.
doing their best to be as versatile as possible in every single situation. So, if anything, it's just trying to make yourself as well rounded as you possibly can because
Yeah.
obviously, if something, we all pretty much kind of have our A game, and if something plays into that, that's great. But you want to make sure your B game is just about as good as your A game. And so
Okay.
that if something else happens, you can also do that. And I think too, our team, we were talking with Harrison about this last week. Our team is just so deep right now,
Yeah.
and we have
Yeah.
people that are good in different situations.
And you guys are retaining all but one for next
Yeah.
year, right?
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys see often in bowling, where you guys are a younger team?
It depends. On
I
the
guess
year.
last year there was no seniors, technically.
Really?
For what?
Oh, I mean, Alexis graduated.
Alexis did. Well, yeah, but last year we also weren't as good as we are this year. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
so Jacksonville State won the Natty last year, and they lost like 6 people.
And you only bowl 5 at a time. So if you
Yeah.
think about that, you probably lost your entire starting lineup.
Yeah. So but that's the other thing. They are super new, and they're also bowling really good this year. So we kind of have like battle of the younger teams. Vanderbilt's a little bit of an older team. They're kind of well rounded. The year that Vanderbilt won, though, one of my closest friends actually won Player of the Year that year, and she bowled for Vanderbilt. So I think that helped. But she graduated that year too.
Okay.
So I think like
Right now, a lot of the teams are younger.
yeah,
Yeah.
at least between us and Jax, definitely.
Yeah. I'm
Youngstown
trying to think.
State has a lot
Has
of
a lot of
seniors.
seniors.
Yeah, and then I'm not really sure about Arkansas
Arky
State.
only has like 2, maybe
Okay.
2 seniors.
I think because everything kind of got messed up with COVID.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, because people could take these extra years here.
Oh, well, yeah. That's
And then so like you had people transferring and doing all this weird stuff, and so it was just kind of like Kayla is on her 6th year now because she redshirted her freshman year, and she was able to take that COVID year. And so this is technically her 6th year here, not competing obviously because that wouldn't work. But yeah.
That's crazy. That
And so yeah, so like because Kayla's on her 6th year, like what is Anna's in her 4th year of school.
4th
So,
year
like,
of school,
yeah.
2nd year bowling.
So Anna
though.
technically, whatever. So let's just say Anna started bowling her freshman year and was graduating her senior year. Like even though Kayla's been here for 6 years and Anna's been here for 4 years, like Kayla and Anna would graduate at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because with COVID, you guys gained an extra year of eligibility.
Yeah, so it's like kind of weird. And like we've had people like not everyone wants to take 5 years. Not
Yeah.
everyone wants to take 6 years.
Yeah.
And then but some people take 4. It's just been so weird.
I think she said she was getting her master's.
Yeah, she
right?
is. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, which is awesome because it's like you're able to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think it makes things weird from a recruiting aspect because like the coaches have to figure out like, okay, are you staying or are you leaving? And now based on that, what do I need to do? And hopefully you don't change your mind, but if you do, that's okay. So it's just like so much stuff. And I think that's why some schools
Yeah.
had so many people leave at once.
This is more of an academic thing, but is there majors that you guys take that are like similar, or do you guys kind of spread out? Because I think Harrison was telling me you're a double major, right?
Yeah.
So what's that like?
Oh, it's big.
She's always in class.
Yeah, literally. I'm in forensic science and biological sciences.
Oh, I'm a criminal justice major, so forensic science is cool.
Desiree is in criminal justice too.
Oh, okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. And then like
Kayla has a crim degree, right?
Yeah, Kayla has a crim degree, but she's doing sports management, right? I think
It's like a marketing and
marketing. She's in like some
public relations.
Yeah,
Does anybody have a major that pertains to kind of like the realm of bowling, like sports or anything?
Lainey's in nutrition, exercise, and
Yeah.
health sciences.
Okay.
I started in that.
Yeah.
I kind of science stuff, and then Catherine's biochem. We are like spread out.
Yeah.
Ashton,
That's kind of cool though.
Ashton's pre-law.
Pre-law.
Like Brenna
That's
is
awesome.
also
Crim.
Karina's nutrition, exercise, and health, and then
Haley is.
they're kind of figuring out
Yeah.
like business type stuff.
Okay. That's
So
fun.
We got a lot of different stuff going.
In Anna's business.
Yeah.
How does it differ with like your schedules with practice and everything? Because I imagine you're busier than most, if not all, of your other teammates.
Yeah. So like, Catherine's class schedule is also pretty bad, but like right now,
and
like
Lainey's.
Yeah, Lainey's is bad too. But like right now, I set our practice times earlier. They're usually between like 2 and 5, varies on the day, whatever. But like I have a Monday class 2 to 3:15, a Wednesday class 2 to 3:15, and a Friday class 1 to 3:50.
Okay.
So like trying to figure out practice, absolute pain.
You just gotta stick find a time.
Yeah, and then like I was scheduling for next semester, and like one of the classes I'm supposed to take overlapped with another class.
Yeah.
But like when you're at like the point I am, like I have to take very specific classes at very specific times. So we're trying to figure it out. So now I might need to take like biochem over the summer, but we don't know if I'm going to be able to because I also have a tournament schedule.
Oh man.
And so then we figured that out. We were like going down all these like if ors or whatever. So I'm registering for 19 hours of 400 level credits because I don't know which ones I need to take and which ones I need to drop.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. It's so funny. And then she's showing me.
Yeah, I
hers.
show her my schedule every week and she hates it because it's like, I took like a 3-credit class over like winter break.
Yeah.
So now I only have to take 3 classes because they try to keep our spring schedule light, with the exception of like Jillian, just because we travel so much more. And so I take 3 classes and one of them's online. And so I go to class 4 days a week.
All
for
of
an hour.
mine are online.
Yeah.
All
I
of
think
mine.
Brenna's all online
Yeah.
too.
The thing with criminal justice is most of them are online. Well, I say that most of them just give you options for online. You take them because it's easier.
Yeah.
Or I'm assuming if you guys can take online classes, you take them.
Yeah.
I will specifically take classes over the summer because I
Yeah.
can take them online and they're so much easier over the summer than they are.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Like,
Yeah.
I took a comm class over like last summer, and then Haley's in it right now, but she has to go in like for the class, and then she has a recitation for that. I'm like, I already took that class. Like, there's no need for a recitation for that.
Yeah, it's weird how that works.
Yeah.
Is with having classes and being like a collegiate athlete, do you get any type of like slack with the professors?
I mean,
Depends.
it depends.
Because of the guy, like professor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously, like we have a travel letter, and like so if there's exam conflicts or stuff like that, they'll work with you.
Okay.
I actually have only run into like one professor who was kind of like, I don't really love this, but we can make it work. So usually they're accommodating. It just sucks too. Like we've talked to Harrison a lot too with having to stack classes at certain points. Like I don't have classes on Thursday, but like tomorrow I have class from 8:30 to 1:20, practice from 2:30 to 5, and then class from 6:30 to 9:20.
you're just gone all day.
Yeah, because I can't have classes on Thursdays because we
Yeah.
travel on Thursdays because we
Yeah.
don't travel on Tuesdays. So our schedules end up being really funky because you have to stack in certain
So
places.
it's like one day is just
Bad.
way
Yeah.
longer than the next.
Yeah, so it's just kind of it's weird. That's probably the only drawback. But I mean, professors overall, like they'll work with you. You still have to do the work. It's not like they're like, oh, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, I would
They're
imagine,
not like that lenient, but
Most
Well, I
of
know
them
you guys are
fine.
probably hammering out homework like, on the buses, at the hotels. And
yeah,
Yeah.
it depends. We have such long days. Sometimes I'm like, I have to
I
like
can't do it.
schedule to get it
Yeah.
all done. Like I will literally stay up so late trying to get homework done before we leave. But that's just because I don't like doing it. I'm so bad.
Yeah, like is there any times where you find yourself on the road where you're just like, I'm not doing this?
I say that, but like I still get it done before I need to.
Oh well, yeah.
Like there's one day I was like, oh, I need to take like this math practice quiz, and I was like, it was like a Friday, and I was like, it's due Saturday. Today's not the day to be doing it. I need to go to bed.
Yeah. I will say though, I have a professor right now who's like also a student athlete. She's like a super chill professor in general, but she was basically like we were talking back and forth about like my travel stuff and if I'd be able to do this because it's like a forensic photography class.
Okay.
So it's like really in depth on like certain random things.
Yeah.
So we kept going back and forth. I was like, okay, so like if we travel back to that, can I submit on Monday? And she basically just like, hey, I was a student athlete. I get it. Like, let me know when you're planning to submit and we'll make it work. I was just like, you are the best.
Yeah,
Like, literally.
I see more and more as like I go through every semester that more teachers are becoming a little bit more lenient, which there's pros and cons to that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a teacher right now that's on every assignment you're giving a 48-hour grace period. And she makes that very public. Like it's due on this day, but if you submit it within 48 hours, no penalty, you don't have to tell me, no nothing. So it's just a little weird.
Yeah.
I feel like that's playing into procrastination.
No,
Yeah.
it 1000% is. I've used it once, but like
Yeah, well, because it's like I don't know. I'm that person. I've gotten better, but like I used to be like, oh, I won't do it till the day it's due, like even if it's all on paper. But then it's like she's almost like, well, if you don't do it till the day it's due, you're low key fine because you still have another 2 days.
yeah.
So that would be weird, but that's kind of fire.
Yeah.
Like that or no?
No. Well, yeah, but they're like, oh yeah, you can turn it in like 2 days late, but like you get points off or whatever. And I'm like, okay, if I can just get a 100 on this, like why would I take like a 70 on this when I still have the answers right now? Like I know how to do it.
Mhm.
And then I have one that's like, yeah, you can't submit anything late. Don't even try to contact me.
Yeah,
if you
it just
submit it late.
depends on the professor
Yeah.
nowadays. I know, like I have a couple of my like online classes. I have like people that like professor's just a side gig. Like one of my teachers is a lawyer,
Yeah.
so he
that's
like
crazy.
he'll put the assignment up like middle of the week. Like, he'll be like, oh, I forgot. Like, just post it.
That's fire though. I don't know. I feel like those are kind of nice professors because they have like practical experience. Like you can
Mhm.
actually talk to them or relate and like understand. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
how
no,
I
they're
feel.
good because it's
Yeah.
like, especially in like a major like criminal justice
Mhm.
where they have kind of experience in that like field.
Yes.
It's easier to ask them questions because they're not like looking at your papers strictly for format.
Mhm.
They're wanting to know the information that you're writing down. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's fun. But,
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Fire.
Well, we got to go take our second break of this show. So don't go anywhere. We still got one more segment. We will be right back.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Opportunity can knock at any moment. When it does, you can't afford to miss a call. That's why you need a business phone system that gives your team the flexibility to answer anytime, anywhere. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, we make it easy to equip your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. We enhance the efficiency technology provides while putting people first in all we do. That's why we meet your business right where you are by offering customized office technology solutions that meet your specific needs. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, will treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
We're in Baton Rouge at the original Raising Cane's with the man that started it all. Wait, are you the Yes Chef guy? Todd started this place 28 years ago with one goal in mind: making the best chicken fingers in the world. We got their famous box combo, chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries, Texas toast slaw, and their world famous cane sauce. Could shed a tear right now.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off on Piedmontese brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, and at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to a $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Spare Time, sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here are your hosts, Jillian Martin and Kayla Starr.
All right, welcome back into Spare Time. One more segment here before we get on out of here with what's brewing coming up next. But with a little couple minutes left here, guys, I was telling you guys off air. I just wanted to ask you guys about your pregame playlist because I know that there was a Twitter post today about yours. So
Yeah. You can start since yours was posted.
Yeah, I don't know. I am not like a super huge music person. I've been doing better this year. Freshman year, I used to drive my car silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, team thought I was
that's
delusional.
That's interesting.
I actually made it.
I would go insane if I had to drive my car silent.
I made it from Lincoln to Chicago with my mom. No music, no podcast.
That's impressive. Like I see people like on like TikTok all the time that are like, I'm gonna do this plane ride, just staring forward the entire time. It's like a challenge.
But over the summer, when like a bunch of like Chapel Roan stuff was getting posted, I kind of liked her stuff. So I started listening to her music, and then I was watching the Grammys because she was in it, and Doechii was on. And I really like Doechii.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fire. And so, oh my god, I did it again. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. So those two were the main two on my playlist. I think there was also some Baby No Money on there, and then Billie Eilish. I do like Billie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Conan too. But
Conan Gray?
Yeah, Conan Gray.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't really go through much of his songs to put on there because I just
Okay.
like, whatever. Because Colin said 10 to 15 songs, so we just
Yeah.
stayed at like 15. But yeah, I really like Doechii's music is hitting very hard right now. I'm really enjoying. So the Balloon by Tyler, Tyler the Creator. It's that
okay.
features Doechii. I really like
Yeah,
that song. I don't know, it just scratches my brain.
She's new, right?
She
Yeah.
is new,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot newer. But
Yeah.
she won a Grammy.
Yeah,
And
my
so-
girlfriend was telling me about her. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, I really like her. She's kind of a vibe, and like some of her music is almost like more of like a jazzy type rap, and so it's
Mhm.
kind of cool to have like that culture in there too. It's just kind of different.
Okay.
So I've been enjoying it.
Okay.
Yeah. I listen to like everything. Like my playlist, it's just everything. But it started in college. I just don't listen to music before I bowl anymore. I don't.
Really? Okay.
I think it started with like I would forget to pack my AirPods to the bowling alley, and then it was just like, oh, well, I bowled good the other day, and I didn't listen to music before, so.
So it's like a superstition. Do you guys have any superstitions before like you head into a bowling match? Like these things have to go. Like if this thing goes wrong, I'm gonna bowl this way, or like if I do these things, I'm gonna bowl really good today. Like pregame rituals or anything like that.
I guess that's my only one that I can think of. It's not necessarily because, like, oh, if I put my AirPods in, I'm gonna bowl bad. It's just now I just don't pack them.
That's
at all.
fair.
Yeah,
That's totally fair.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's superstitious, but this one is a little bit. This would be the only thing though. If I order something like a coffee that morning and I bowl good, I have to get it again until I bowl
Yeah.
bad, and then once I bowl bad, I have to switch up the order. So that's kind of it. But so if I have one, got to keep going with it. If it doesn't work, then we switch. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
well,
normal.
Well, we'll leave here on one last question. I think it's something that I was thinking about when we were talking about regionals. How important this year would it be to win a national championship for the team? Because I know, because we were talking earlier, you guys retain a lot of the people. So if you guys win a national championship,
Yeah.
you're rolling into next season with most of your team from this year. So how important this year would it be to win a national championship?
It would be huge. I think it would be a really big confidence booster going into next season too. But also, this team works really hard, and so I think it's kind of just rewarding.
Yeah, I think
how
it'd be,
hard we've worked.
Yeah, it'd be cool too with all the work we've done, just coming together as a team. We've done a lot of new kind of different stuff this year, and so if we could just see that kind of pay off in the long run, I just think it would be awesome. I think any year it's important to win a natty, but I just love this team right now.
Yeah.
Really care for every single person, and I just want to go out there and have a great time with them. And it's one of those years where it's like, if you have a great time and you just enjoy what you're doing, it's probably gonna work out pretty dang
Yeah.
All right. We'll go ahead and get out of here. Thanks you guys for listening. Don't go anywhere. What's Brewing with Chance for Brewington coming up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.